Okay, before we talk about hockey, describe being on the set, the NBA on TNT.
First of all, it was unreal talking with those guys on camera. It was super cool. My favorite part was talking with them off before for 15, 20 minutes. We were just hanging out like in their TNT room and just like watching highlights of basketball and hockey was on. And
yeah,
I don't even know what we were talking, like just everything. And just hearing their opinions on basketball and everything. It was cool talking to Charles. He's a super funny guy. And like what you see on camera, like he's exactly like that often. Somebody who I'm very lucky to say has been like following me, and I've been following him for forever. So the fact that he even knows who I am is pretty cool. So talking with him and Shaq, who I met on air, was awesome.
You know what? The thing that I really liked about that, watching that whole thing, Matthew, is that, obviously Shaq and Kenny Smith aren't huge hockey fans, but they had really good, like I thought the question Kenny Smith asked you about what's more important about the skating or the stick handling, and Shaq pretending he wanted to fight and stuff like that.
Matthew, you're a great athlete. I don't have any questions. I don't really watch hockey. I just like to see you guys fight. So
thank you.
Congratulations.
I like the honor.
They welcomed you, even though they didn't really know a lot about the game you play. They welcomed you as an equal, and they said, you're part of our group. That really stood out to me.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like I just felt like, even though they probably don't know as much as like you guys do know about hockey, like they wanted to know more. And I think it helps with our team doing so well in that market and having the Heat do well. It's like, it's kind of like overlap with the fan bases right now. So like maybe that some hockey fans didn't know much about basketball, and now some of the basketball fans are learning more about hockey. So I think it helps having a team like that do so well. Like if the Heat were doing so well, I probably wouldn't have been on NBA TNT. So it's just, it's cool that allowed me to be in that position. And yeah, I thought it was really cool, those guys to like ask those questions and want to learn more about hockey. Like Charles knows a lot. He does. And Ernie knew a lot as well. But for the other two, like for them to ask questions and try to learn more, it was cool for me to talk about my sport too.
You know, one of the things people have been talking about here is that it's not only the summer of, or I guess the spring of Tkachuk in terms of the way you've played, but it's also the spring of Tkachuk in terms of your personality and the attention that you've brought to the game. Now, I know there's business here, but the fact that you're being seen as advancing the sport and the eyes on the sport, do you think about that?
I don't think about that, but I've realized what's going on around me, and you try to keep a focus on the task, and I've done a really good job of that, and my team has done a really good job of that. But recognizing more people watching, different backgrounds of people watching, South Florida is being talked about hockey first, along with basketball now. Like I'm not saying it's because of me at all. It's because of our team, but it's allowed. I think that the NHL's, with the help of our team, has done a great job marketing the sport now for people that don't know as much about it or didn't. Now they do. And having these two markets in the finals is really helping grow the game. And I'm seeing it firsthand from when I first got to Florida this summer, how it's changed this year with our team doing well and going on this run. It's amazing. Guys on the team can't go to many places without somebody noticing them, which is so cool. And it reminds me of my time in Calgary.
Speaking of your time in Calgary, you played on the best line in hockey. With all due respect to other elite lines out there from last season, I mean, you and Lindholm and Johnny Gaudreau were special. Great line. And you come to Florida, and my curiosity is, how long until you felt really comfortable playing with the Panthers? There's obviously going to be an adjustment, different team, different conference, all of it. But you had a monster year. But I'm curious, when did it really seem to click for you?
Well, I didn't really play many preseason games. I got hurt towards, or a little banged up, where I couldn't play more than like the split squad game and one other. And it really helped me playing with Benny to start. And we played with a lot of different people this year, but I would say for 60, 70 of the games, I was playing with Benny. And that really, really helped me. I just think that having that familiar face, like on and off the ice, really, like I was so lucky to I came here early, but not that early, where I had like the whole summer to hang out with these guys. And I was here probably a month before the season started, or a month before training camp. And it clicked. I swear it clicked like that off ice. And so I knew it wasn't going to take a long time for me to feel comfortable like I did in Calgary on the ice. And don't get me wrong, like I play with unreal players in Calgary and Johnny and Lindy for basically the whole year last year. But coming down here, I didn't realize the skill level. I knew they were really skilled, but that first day in the summer skating with them, I was like, I had no idea they were this good. So that made it super easy. It didn't matter who I was playing with. They were a really, really, really good player and really offensively gifted. And I think that's what the Panthers have been known for the last few years. And we've kind of changed that in the style we're playing. And we still have that offense, but now we're playing more of that gritty style, which suits my game. So it helps me.
What did you think of Paul Maurice when he was coaching against you? And what do you think of him now?
Didn't like it when he said all those terrible things about you.
Well, I know he probably wasn't the biggest fan of me. That's probably the easier way to answer it. But I'm super lucky to have him as my coach now.
Sure.
And first time I met him was right before training camp, and we just sat down and talked about what would make me a better player, which we knew would both ultimately help our team and the vision he had for our team. And the vision he had for our team is exactly where we are right now, playing the exact way we're playing right now. So he's super smart. He's a great motivator. And he's brought out the best in me. Like I know everybody talks about, my last year in Calgary and that was probably the peak of what I was going to be. And I can sit here comfortably and say that as an individual, I feel like I'm way above what I was last year in Calgary, just from my game growing and rounding out. And I think Paul is a big part of that.
Okay, so let me a bit more. How'd you get from there to here? Because you've been unbelievable.
I would say trust is one thing. Every team has a certain standard how they want to play, but there's a little bit, I would say, of rope that Paul has given me, and that I can do some things that I know are my strengths, and it's just allowed me to feel really comfortable in this, whether it's, you want to call it system or lifestyle, or with my teammates. And I don't know if I'm playing a lot more than I have before, but I know I put a ton of work in the past few summers to be able to play the big minutes, and I think it pays off. I'm super lucky to have my brother that I train with every single day in St. Louis, and we have such a great schedule and our routine, and to be honest, like our schedule of training is based around playing in like playoff overtime. Like that's when it's going to pay off. And I feel like that this year in playoffs, like as the games have gone on, I feel like I'm getting better and I feel more fresh, like the longer the series go or the longer the game goes. And so I credit my brother for that.
My last one for me is, you come from a super talented and competitive family. Your father, your mother, your brother, your sister. This is the first time that anyone's been this close to this in hockey, the hockey's ultimate goal. What's it like for all of you, with you 24 hours away from starting this last part of the journey?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It has. And to have their support, like I didn't think anybody would want to win more than me. And my whole family, like the 4 other members of my family, want it just as much. Like they're so dedicated to our team. Even my brother, like he knows that this has been a dream my whole life. And I know some people might think it's weird if he like comes to a game or whatever. Like he's supporting me and he wants me to live out a dream right now. And I know if roles were reversed, I'd be doing the same for him. So it's not a lifelong dream just for myself to be able to lift the cup and have all that glory and completing that goal. It's for the people that have supported me for my whole life. Like how gratifying it'd be for them to see me do that and to know they played a little part in it. That's why you want to do it.
Let me follow up on that really briefly. This is my last one. I remember speaking to you, Elliot and I talked when your brother was going through his contract situation with Ottawa. And you gave us a quote where you said, if you negotiate with one of us, you negotiate with all of us. If you win the Stanley Cup, do you look at that as a victory for the Tkachuk family?
Absolutely. I didn't get here by myself. Like we just talked about my brother. When the season ends, he's the guy I'm going through the summer trenches with, if you want to call it, with all the long workouts and work days and all that stuff. So he's the guy pushing me. So I know it'll be very satisfying for my brother to know that he played. Well, he's so like selfless where he'll be like, it was all you. But no, he's probably the biggest reason why I'm ready to go. And in these positions and feel good in these positions. So, and obviously my parents and my sister, like they've been there every step of the way, and the amount of sacrifices they've made, I wanted almost more for them than myself. So, same goes to like Panthers fans. Like they've been waiting a long time for this, longer than I've been alive. So, it's something you want to deliver for them. And I know what my teammates go through each and every day with, the bumps and bruises they play with, and it's not easy getting to this point. Like you have to, get lucky. You have to play hard. You have to have some unbelievable performances from everybody. And I've seen it firsthand what guys have gone through. So I want it more for them than myself.
We wish you luck. Thanks so much for this, Matthew.
Thank you.